Okay, that is such a wonderful day for us to meet once again. Yeah, to talk about UI UX. Today I'll be taking you through some few navigation bar, how to create user ID, and not forgetting password as well. And last, how to hide your password and unveil it. Yeah. So without wasting much time, this is the dashboard on how to create the navigation bar. So over here, you first have to get your first icon and the names of the navigations, like this one over here. First get your home, your explorer, your booking and profile. So this is a typical navigation bar for a session booking, or somebody can also use it for a photography session or an e-commerce section or an e-commerce app. Yeah, it's not bad. Everything works perfectly. Depending on how you want to align your navigations. So all the time, bear in mind, you know what you are working for, and you go straight to it without any much time. Let's fast forward. We first have to design our layers. After designing them, we'll convert them into auto layout. Then straight from there, we go to the design panel to select our component. So after converting it to component, create our variances. So over here, you will see that we have four variances depending on the number of bars or the navigations that will be available on the app. So we have these four active navigations. So the green and the highlight at the background indicate that this is active, and wherever you're not seeing green, it means it's not active. Yes, that is just by the way. And when you come here, most of the time you can't do an e-commerce app, or you can design an app that has to do with selecting or making a choice without having the favorite icon over there, whereby you click this green button to put a like and the white to put a dislike, or vice versa. Each way works. So let's continue. After we get in our four variances, each variance have to have an active navigation or an active page. So we will dedicate each of the navigations to the activeness of a page. If the home is active, you'll see that the home is green here. Whether Explorer to Explorer will be active, or a booking goes as well, and the last one, which is the profile. So mind you, each of these navigations, you will design their dashboards separately before you start navigating. So when you are navigating, or when you want to give them their respective pages, you only go to the asset area, then you look for the components that you've created. Over here, this is our navigation bar. So you only have to drag this navigation bar at once. You only have to do it once by dragging it this way. So with this, assuming this is our current page which had a home, the next one you only have to duplicate this page or this bar over here. Then over here you go to the property menu here, then you switch to Explorer or Explore, sorry, you switch to Explore, and the same applies to when you are in the booking section. When you're in the booking dashboard, you just have to come here and you switch to the booking dashboard, and the same applies to the profile. You come and you switch to the profile, okay, and it will work perfectly. The only thing you need to do is to have a duplication of these bars, and voila, it will go perfectly. Now, talking of the beast, or talking of the effects, when you click or when you select the whole frame like this and you come to properties, you will see that there are some lines matching to each pages respectively. That is what we call a prototype. So the prototype has to deal with you matching where there is a page or where there is a section which is not active. You have to match it to where it is being active. The first one happens to be our home page or our home navigation. So the home navigation, you have to look through all the 3 subsequent navigations and match all the home tabs to the home or the selected or the active bar. Are you getting it? So when you come to the explore, this is the explorer. Explorer is active over here. So you can see that among all other ones that are not active, are being drawn to the active one. When you come here, explore, draw, come here, explore, draw. The same applies to the booking. That is the same. We use how to match them to the booking, which is the current. The same applies to the profile. Every profile which is not active, how to match to the one that is active. So when you do so, and you went to the preview section. So the preview section will give you the play. Let me put it this way: the play of all the navigations you did. So assuming you want to see what happened when we come to this side. So let's load this section, this page over here. So when you come here, go to the play over here, and you click on it, or you click on the preview. You can either preview it at the present or the mobile. All works perfectly. You get it? Yes. That is how this one also works. So depending on what you are doing, or depending on what you want to, or how you want to view it, will determine where to select first. So whilst we wait for this to load, let's continue with our prototyping. When you come here, you will see that over here, this prototype has a link, or this tab has been linked to the down one. Now when you click, the trigger has to do with a click, and the action is to change to the second variant, and the effect instant animation, and the same applies to the second one also, the second variant. So when you come here and you want to check the animation or the interaction created over here, the trigger is click. So anytime you click on the explorer, it should navigate you to the explorer page. You get it? That is how this one also works. And the same applies to the same effect and actions and animation apply to all, nothing changes. And that is how you achieve this simple navigation applicable effect. So right now, assuming this is our page and we want to navigate to Explorer, when we click on Explorer, the activeness move from home to Explorer, because over here we've given a command that even if you are at home, which is this place, you are at home and you click on Explorer, it should move to this place. Even if you are at booking and you click on Explorer, you should move to this active cell or active interaction or active navigation. So it will navigate or interact, or it will create a sense of movement that will trigger the mind that I want to come to Explorer, even though you are not in Explorer. But the moment you click on the Explorer, it will become active. The activeness will remove, or the current page will move from booking to Explorer. You get it? And that's how it works on all. You see? So this that we've created is as a result of this that we are seeing. Yes. And not forgetting the like and dislike icon as well. You see? So that is what will happen because we have this. Yes. And this is the result of it. Yes. Thank you very much for grabbing this navigation bar easily. Very good. Let's move on to creating of the next one is how to create a user ID. Always make sure you give the people idea of what they are supposed to enter or what they are supposed to do when you are creating your user ID space. So when you create your frame, this that I wrote, user full name, comes as a trigger into the mind of the user that at least I have to fill this space. I don't need to leave it blank like that. I have to fill it with my credentials, and that is where we ended up by having this name Kabute Joshua. So the user get to know that he or she have to put down his username or user ID, and this is the user ID. And the same thing applies to the email column. You use the same procedures whereby you give the user a hint. We call it a hint. We call it hint. So you give a user a hint that I have to fill this space with my email address, and at the end of the day, we have our email address perfectly instilled or perfectly designed there. Now, there is some kind of prototype going on at the background. What do we want to achieve? Even though it's a prototype, but we want it to be as if it is working perfectly. Yes. So we create this illusion. Over here, we have two standing bar against the usernames. So this particular frame is navigated or is being intercepted to interact with the down page. So the interaction of these two pages create an animation where the designer or where I use after delay as the trigger effect. So when I trigger on the first one, which is the click, the second one I have to do it after delay. So it will delay and reveal this frame, and the same frame will also reveal another frame which is inside it. So at the end of the day, you will see a blinking sign. Okay, at the end of the day, you see a blinking sign, even though it is just a prototype, but it is being placed over there to speak to the mind of the user that the user have to input some kind of item which has to do with user ID. So let's come to the asset area here and drag it and drop it just below it, and we'll do the same to the email address column, and we'll see what the outcome will bring. So right now this section is active, so let's go to the preview area and preview it and see. Yes, so the first one is click. Let's go back, let's align them very well. Yes, align the line. Okay, very good. So right now you see when the mouse is hovering here, the hand is not showing until you bring the mouse into this frame over here before the cursor change to from arrow to hand. So that is how the system has been designed to tell people that this frame is being prototype or is having an interaction or without interaction. Okay, this is not having interaction. Create user ID is not having interaction, so the arrow entering the space over here still maintain its white color and white arrow color, but the moment you bring it onto this frame, you see that it has changed to a hand gesture. The same applies to this one. So let's try and see what will happen. You see the blinking effect indicating that we are ready to type. Okay, the user is ready to type something. That is the mindset of the designer, or that's the mindset I have when I was creating this whole phrase. So I sat down and I started that now I have to create something that will create an illusion in the mind of the user that, even though it's a prototype, but when I'm showcasing it to the world, I must do something that will trigger a mind of not at the end of the day, to trigger their mind that something is supposed to take place. So for it being a prototype, you can't type unless you create an interaction for it whereby you type it one by one. But this is just for a learning purpose, so we wouldn't want to waste much time. So when you click again, the name appears. Are you getting it? The name appears, and when the name appears, now as a designer, you have to navigate this to a different frame, showing that you've entered a name and you are okay with the name. The same applies to the email column. See, so what I did was, I was trying to be quick. I designed this frame and I duplicated it and I changed the details and the icons attached to it. So whatever is happening here, the same thing will happen here, just that they are having different descriptions, or they are serving different purposes. This one is for user ID and this one is for email address. So when you click on the email, or when you click on this page, then the email will pop up. Very good. Let's go back. So that is just by the way in the user ID column when you are creating a user ID. So make sure you don't waste plenty time in creating these kind of things. Yes, they have to be very simple and educative or interactive enough for the user to navigate this or away when they are using the app. Okay, thank you for your time, and I really appreciate it that you are here till we finish this or till we get. Thank you for your time that you spend, and don't worry, I have more. So we'll just continue with the rest. This is the password column, whereby at the end of the day you create a password, you confirm the password, you create a password, you confirm a password. So this is what you are supposed to do at the end of the day. Anytime you create a password, you have to confirm the password, and if you want to reveal the password, then it means your icons have to be very simple and precise, telling the user what to do. Don't use plenty things that will do or that will put or send the user off when he or she is using the app. That is why it is user experience. Okay, after creating the interfaces, the interactions, you have to get an experience attached to it. The user must be able to navigate his or her way in using your app, and every detail or every frame or item found on the app must be very familiar with the user. That is why I always try to make it simple for you. I'm always Kabuti, or Kabuti UI UX, the only guy from Takoya Technology University, making everything simple for users and designers to use as their template or source of idea or inspiration. That is who I am, and I always make it simple for you. That's just by the way. So let's continue. So when you watch this one, we have two descriptions. This is typically for the first time account holder. If I'm having an account with a customer, or the customer is having an account with the organization already, that person doesn't need to create or confirm password any longer. The person have to go straight to enter password. Okay, enter password, and that is just it. And all this that we are creating, it is called component. Yes, so out of the component, you use one set of it to design your frames. At the end of the day, you will see it to be two, but you're only going to make good use, or you're only going to make use of the component. let's come back to what we are doing here. So talking of this area, you first have to get these two icons. Whereby you have to create the password column and confirm password column. So let's go to our asset and get our component on board. So this component is for confirm password. Yeah. So if you have anything to add or anything to say, the comment section is there for you. Let's have an interaction over there. Yeah, I always love to hear from you, the fans and everybody who is trying his or her best to become or to also become a UI UX designer. Okay. Yes, right now it's our time to shine. So don't be ashamed of being a UI UX designer. Charlie. Not everybody get a chance to be one. So if you are one, you have to be happy. Okay. So as I was saying, let's continue. This is create password and this is confirm password, and this is the procedures in doing that. So at the end of the day, you will see something like this. Whereby you are supposed to create a password, and after creating the password, you again have to confirm the password. Okay, so anytime you see this it means it has to do with password. Okay, anytime you see this thing over here, it has to do with password, or even the lock, it has to do with password. So each password, depending on the security measures put or set in place, you can be guided, or as a designer, you have to guide the people to make their password strong by mixing alphabet with capital letters, characters like text, symbols. So by mixing these things, it gives you a strong password foundation that at the end of the day, if somebody wants to break through your wall, it will be very difficult for the person to hack your password. That is why most designers advise that have a capital letter, or have an uppercase, lowercase, have a symbol, have a numerical alphabet inside, or have numbers merging with the alphabets. That is how it works. And that's the best advice you could ever get for somebody who wants you to protect your privacy. Privacy is very important. Don't joke with it when you are designing, or when you are filling forms. Very good. So by so doing, we've used the previous prototype settings for this one as well. The only thing that changes over here is the eye. By clicking on this particular eye, to reveal the password, and by clicking it back, to hide the password. Simple as that. And the same thing applies to the create password and confirm password. So let's go and preview it and see. Preview. Voila. So when you come here, you see what's happening. Let's come to this side also. Somebody will you want to check whether all the prototype he or she has done is working perfectly or not. Very simple. Just put the mouse on an area where there is no frame and you click on it. You will see a blue hovering around the spaces, which means there is something clickable there, or there's an interaction hidden over there. As simple as that. You can hide this, you can hide this, unveil this, unveil this. You can click here and click here to have our password typed. But we've not seen the password that we typed. We want to see the password. Just by clicking the eye, we'll see the password, and by clicking it back, you can hide the password. And the same applies to this. With this, you can copy this particular frame and duplicate or use it on all your works. Okay, thank you very much for this section. And the last part, I just want to show you how we develop the reveal or the hide and seek password. Here I call it hide and seek. Let's drag this in here. So this particular hide or show password column is purposely designed for those that already have an account. Okay, so at the end of the day, we'll have something like this over here. You have this. That is for somebody who is now coming to create, or somebody who is now coming to create an account with you. So this is for somebody who is not having an account, and this is for somebody who is having an account. Yes. So somebody who is having an account will only have to make use of this. Okay. So let's try to do this simple exercise whereby copy this, then we paste in place. Yes. So very good. We don't need this. Let's just work with this. Our time is far spent. Okay. So this is for somebody who is not having an account. So let's name it new user. So let's do some quick exercise here. New user. Come to the design side. We'll do some small work over here. This can be an old or a member, active member. Active user. Very good. So we have a new user and an active user. So this is for somebody who is here to create his or her account, and this is for somebody who already have an account. So as simple as that. As simple as that. Yes. Make sure when you're designing, you use simple colors depending on the company or the industry organization you are designing for. So let's just go to the prototype a review area and preview this beautiful interface. So fine, I think we should change, no, I think we should change the color for these characters so that we'll see it clearly, because me, I can't see very well. It's not like I'm having eye problem, but I think it's showing, so we have to change the name to something so that you can see very well. Has it load? Don't worry about the network. If the network hasn't load, we can still preview our thing. Okay, so let's go. Right now, this is where the user will enter his or her name. Okay, and this is the password area. This is this is the email area. This is the password area. Confirm password, reveal password, reveal password. This is already user, email, and password. You get it? That is just by the way. So thank you very much for your time and your patience. Hope to see you next time. Kabute is always the name. Don't forget to follow and put on the alert button. Make sure you check it. So every time I load something, you will be the first person before anybody else. It's very important. Kabute is always the name. Don't worry, before you're done with what we are supposed to do. So see the new user and active user. Take care. Catch up with you. Ciao, ciao.